Hey guys, it is Plinko here, and welcome back for another Black Ops 3 Zombies video. This time we're going to be looking at Gorod Krovi and the Easter egg that goes along with it. Obviously this is going to be the main Easter egg, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how we were able to do this, and hopefully help a few of you guys out in the process. So let's get started. So obviously first of all you want to turn on the power, which is going to be over there in the Dragon Command building. I'm sure most of you know some of this by now, so just bear with me. I'm going to run through some of these first steps. So obviously this is the next step. You have to collect these little capsules around the map and put them into these modules. There's actually 3 in total, and each one has a different colored capsule. These capsules are dropped by the zombies and just randomly around the map. There is not really any order or strategy to this. And then once you get one, each color fits into a different module. So here's the second module, and there is a third module over in the tank factory up here by where you can spawn the dragon. So for each one of these, every time you put one of these capsules into the module, you have to go defend one of these, I guess another module that falls from the sky, and it will emit a green light in the sky just like the box, but it's green, and you have to protect that and then grab the circuit out of each one of those. So you have to do that 3 times for each module. Once you do get the 3 circuits from protecting those modules, you can bring them down into the bunker and place them in that machine right there, and this will enable you to call the dragon. And for those of you that have been under a rock for the last couple of weeks, the dragons is the new transportation in this map, and this will actually take you over to where you can pack a punch and continue on with the Easter eggs. So here we go. This is what I'm going to be calling the lockdown building. It's also where you can pack a punch, like I just said. But anyways, so once you get over here, you can go all the way upstairs and hit this lockdown. It's kind of like a crystal, I think, is you have to hold your action button on this crystal, and it will initiate a lockdown phase. And what this does is it basically locks you in this building for 4 waves of zombies. Not 4 rounds, but 4 waves of zombies. So the first wave is going to be on whatever side of the building the windows open up on. So when you hold your action button on that crystal upstairs, it's going to close all the windows in the whole building, and then on one side of the building the windows are going to open, and the zombies are going to be coming through those windows. So you don't have to worry about anything coming behind you at this point, because it freezes all the zombies in the game, besides the besides the zombies in the lockdown phase. So you just hold off here, and the first 3 rounds of the 4 you have to survive over here are going to be just like that, but on the other sides of the building. So once you've completed the 3 rounds, you can start the 4th round, and this is the 4th round right here, where all the windows open and the zombies are going to be coming from all sides of the building. So a little harder, a little more intense, but still not that crazy, especially if you have a group of people with you, and especially if you're doing this on an early enough round. But I just kind of did the first few steps of this Easter egg solo, just for purposes of showing you guys some detail, because I wasn't able to get video recorded of some of the steps when I was playing with the group. So anyways, you hold off these 4 rounds. Once you are done with this 4th round, you will know, because you will get a audio cue saying that the lockdown phase is complete, or the lockdown phase is ending. And once that happens, all the doors will open back up, and you will be able to get out of this building. Now the way that you do this is you go all the way down to the basement, and I will show you what the next step in the Easter egg once we get down there. But before you do that, don't forget to go back upstairs and grab your Dragon Strike controller. I almost missed it recording this, and I do this quite a bit, so if you do, you can always just come back over here, but it's always easier to do it on the first go around. So once you get down here in the basement, go over by this sewage pipe, look up to your left, and there's going to be a dragon egg up on the ledge. You want to shoot it down and pick it up. As soon as you do that, you can get started with some of the next steps. Now, in order to finish what you have to do with this egg, you have to bring it over back to the playable area and put it down in one of these nests. I think there are 4 total around the map, and in all the main areas. I always just put it down and spawn right there on that little nest right there. And what you have to do is let the dragon egg be bathed in the dragon fire that the dragon shoots down on it. and once it does that, it has to cool down for a round. So it takes a couple of rounds to do that before you can pick it back up, and this is going to set you up for incubating this egg. So while you're waiting on this, I go ahead and start the next step, which you can actually start before you incubate your egg. So what you have to do is kill one of those droids in front of that generator covered with a sheet in the basement, back over in the lockdown area. And then you will make your way back over here, and what this generator does is it powers on these valves all around the map, and I think there are 6 total, and I'm going to go over as best as I can on how to do this step. So as you saw right there, that valve had a little piece stuck in the tube, and what we're trying to do is get airflow from the beginning valve all the way through the other valves to the end valve, which is where the piece is stuck, to blow that piece out of the tube so we can get that piece. So in order to do this, you have to go all around to all these valves, and you're looking for a valve with a green light. That's what you want to find first. You want to find the valve with the piece stuck in it and the valve with the green light. You don't even want to bother with these valves with the blue lights at all at this point in time. So we just keep checking. There's one in the barracks, there's one in Tank Factory, there's one in Dragon Command, there's one in the department store, there is also one over in the armory on the other side, and where am I forgetting? And then the infirmary. So there's all 6 of those, and obviously the supply depot as well. So here is a little chart, credit to XPL Jesus from Reddit. I will link that in the description. That will show you how to complete this next step. What you're looking at is these valves have 3 pipes with numbers on them, 1, 2, and 3 for each valve, and you have to direct the air to one of these pipes, and what you're trying to do is create a closed circuit or a closed loop starting at the beginning and ending at the end. And again, what I was getting at earlier is the beginning is going to be the valve with the green light, and the end is with the valve with the piece in it right there that I just picked up. And you have to turn these in a sequence so they will blow that piece out. Here is a very helpful tool that I will post down in the description as well for you guys. All you have to do is input the beginning valve and the last valve, and it will tell you what numbers to set the valves to get that piece to pop out. Alright, so once you are done with this, you want to bring that piece over to Sophia and Dragon Command, and then you have to input the piece into her, and then you have to input a password, which is Kronos, K-R-O-N-O-S. This is kind of a pain in the ass to shoot these little password things to get them to spin around, but once you do get them to spin around, you'll get a voice command, and you should be ready to do the next step. But we have to go finish our egg in order to get to that next step. So you want to make sure you get this egg done as quick as possible. As early as possible, basically. So what I did was I picked up that egg, and now you have to complete these 3 challenges before you're able to incubate the egg. These challenges are listed on your tombstone where your other trials are. And the first challenge is always going to be to kill, I think it's like 10 or 15 napalm zombies, which are going to be zombies that are on fire. In order to get them on fire, you just got to run them through the dragon fire. You can either get lucky doing this, or what I did was I just waited kind of to the end of the round and then trained up a group of zombies where I knew the dragon would breathe down fire and just waited for the dragon. Sometimes this can take a while, but it does work. So once you're done with that, you can go over to your tombstone and you will see that a new challenge has popped up. And the new challenge is going to be to get, you have to get zombie penetrating multi-kills. And this kind of took us a while to figure this one out. We were able to do it with a Drakon, so I think snipers work really well for this. I was able to do it right there with the death machine, but what you have to do is kill multiple zombies with 1 bullet. So line them up, kill them with 1 bullet. Alright, so after you've completed that challenge, you can move on to the last challenge for your egg, which is going to be to get melee kills. And this is done really easily with your shield. And once you are done with that, you can go to your tombstone, and your tombstone will have a full circle around the egg, letting you know you are done. So then you want to bring that egg back over to the lockdown building and place it in the incubator, which is going to be in the basement. And you basically just have to hold off for another lockdown round down here with the incubator. This one's not nearly as hard as the previous one. It is kind of a smaller space, so upgraded weapon obviously is going to help here. Monkeys maybe. Definitely want a shield, you know, whatever you can get your hands on by this point in the game. But again, not too hard. I have faith in you guys. You guys are pros by now, so you can do this pretty simply. But once you are done, you will notice that the egg has been done, and you will have to let the egg cool for a round, which I skipped in this video. So after you've incubated the egg, you have to let the egg cool, and then come back over there and pick it up. Once you do pick it up, you can bring it back to your tombstone in the spawn area, and this is the spawn area, and this is going to allow you to pick up the special weapon for this map. Now this thing is pretty awesome. It's called the Gauntlet of Siegfried, and what it does is it gives you like a little drone. It's a little dragon that acts as a drone, and it gives you an iron fist. So now that you've done that, you can finally move on to the next step, which is going to be finding these 6 trophies around the map. The first one is right there outside of Dragon Command on the mural on the wall. You want to shoot the ball in one of the characters' hands, and it will fall down, and you just pick it up with your action button. The second one is going to be over here in Supply Depot. You just turn on that laser beam trap, and after the trap is done, it will open that compartment in the floor right there, and you just pick up that second trophy. The third trophy is also going to be over here by the Supply Depot. This puddle right here, you just want to use your Dragon Strike, which you obtained earlier, and you use it by pressing right on your D-pad. You want to use that right there on that puddle, and the third trophy will pop up right there. And now for the fourth trophy, we want to make our way over to the tank factory, right by the double tap machine. And if you look behind that double tap machine, there's a pipe that's open with a window that's also open above it. If you shoot your shield firepower with the R2 button, it will knock that trophy out of there, and that's your fourth trophy. Now, for this fifth trophy, you have to go through the tube down in the basement of the lockdown building, shoot the glowing green thing, and then make your way back over to the lockdown building, and that trophy will be in that toilet right there. And then for the final trophy, you have to have the Gauntlet of Siegfried, which is why I waited to do this until now. And you just use your Gauntlet of Siegfried, the Iron Fist, on that safe in the bunker, and that will give you your last trophy. Alright, so now that you have all 6 trophies, you want to make your way back over to Dragon Command, and this little screen on the wall to your left, you can actually place all the trophies in this room right here. Once you get all 6 down, you will get a voice cue right here from Sophia letting you know that you have to begin Phase 2. And Phase 2 is actually these challenges from Sophia, and these challenges will spawn randomly, but this is the order we got, and I'm just going to run you through on how to do each one of these. So the first one we got was to protect the module outside of the map, and again these will spawn randomly in a random different order, so you will have to do all of these challenges, but they might be in a different order basically. So this first challenge is to protect this module outside of the map. Not too hard, to be honest. You just want to make sure maybe you have a ray gun, monkeys help. Actually, I'm not sure if you can actually throw the monkeys outside of the map. I don't think you can. So a ray gun, upgrade a gun. I mean, this really isn't hard. If you have any kind of accuracy at all, you should be able to do this pretty good. It will spawn over here in the Dragon Command every time. I don't think it will spawn in a different location. Once you have defended it, it will open up just like before. And you can actually use your Gauntlet of Siegfried. You want to bring your dragon out, release him, and he will actually go get this piece out of the module outside of the map and bring it to you. So you just want to pick that up, and you have to bring it back to Sophia, not over here to the screen like I originally thought. Sorry about that. You want to bring it back over here to Sophia, put it in this box that will come out of Sophia, and she will let you know that you're done with that challenge. Then you can move on to the next challenge, and for us the next challenge happens to be to escort a mangler. Now this is kind of one of the harder challenges. All of these aren't very easy. I will say some of them are easier than others, but this one is a little harder. So in order to do this one, you have to find a mangler around the map with green eyes. He usually spawned for us over in the tank factory, either up top or down below, just randomly. He did spawn one time in the department store for us, but what you have to do is escort him to Dragon Command and to the teleporter that you will see here in just a minute. And in order to do this, you have to stay really close to him, and you cannot hurt him. You can't shoot him, and there will be zombies attacking you, and he will be attacking you as well. So the easiest way we found to do this was to use our shields to kill the zombies, so we weren't hurting the mangler in the process of doing this. Another good thing to do while doing this is to use the Undead Man Walking Gobblegum and to slow the zombies down. Alright, so moving on to the third challenge, at least for us. And again, these will be in different orders for every game you play. So this one was another really hard one. You have to defuse these 4 or 5 bombs around the map. I believe it's only 4 or 5. It might be 6. Anyways, there are bombs are located around the map. I'll show you what they look like here in just a second. The best way to do this, we found, was to put one person in each corner of the map. One person has to stand over in the Dragon Command and watch that screen, and the screen with the map on it will flash in a distinct order, and you have to hit these bombs, or you have to disarm these bombs in the order that those rooms blink on the map. So what we did was we had one person in Dragon Command calling out the order, and every time someone would hit a bomb, they would let us know, and then the next person would hit the bomb, let us know. And we basically did that in order. Mine was in the department store. I went ahead and disarmed it when they called on me, and we were able to get it done. I can imagine this being really hard solo, or even with 2 or 3 people. So 4 people is going to make that a lot easier. But just play around with it. You'll be able to get it. It's not too hard. Alright, so moving on to the 4th challenge. This one is where you have to capture Gersh. And he is actually trapped in this little orb that flies around the map. And it's glowing. And you'll be able to see it once you see it. But I don't think this is timed. It might be timed for the round. But you should have plenty of time to do this. So what you want to do is find him. I wasn't able actually to see him right here because one of my teammates actually shot him before I got to see him. But you will get an audio cue every time you shoot him. So here he is again. And I found him right up here. And you have to shoot him a total of 3 times and get 3 different audio cues before you're done with this step. For some reason, my ray gun was not registering hit markers right there. But I have gotten the ray gun to hit the I have gotten the ray gun to work on this step before, so I'm not sure why it was not working. But anyway, so here you'll see it. Once you do shoot it, it'll just start bouncing around the map, completely random. It can be anywhere. It'll just stop in random corners, and you just want to shoot it until he stops, and you get another audio cue. And this whole time, he'll kind of ask you what you want. Why are you bothering him? You know, just random stuff. But you just want to keep shooting him until you get this last audio key. So that was number 2. And the 3rd one is coming up right here. So we were able to find him. And now we utilized these bridges right here. There's 2 bridges in this map. And you can see like 3 or 4 different areas from these bridges. And that was a huge help for this step. So totally recommended for that. So that was the third quote we got from Gersh. And he basically gave in and asked what we wanted. And we asked him to meet us over by Sophia, and she was going to help him out and extract some information from him. But little do we know that Sophia actually isn't going to help him out. She just takes the information from him. And I don't know if she kills him or what, but we do hear a lot of screaming. So we'll leave it at that. So anyways, once you're done with that step, you will know because you will get a quote from Sophia, and you can move on to the next step. And this one for us was to escort the Valkyrie drone. Now this is really similar to escorting the Mangler, except it is a drone. And this actually spawned for us every time over here in spawn, right here. So it's going to be a drone that has no arms, it's damaged. And again, you have to escort it over to Dragon Command without hurting it, without shooting it, without hitting it. All that good stuff, and there will be zombies spawning, manglers spawning, and but at least this time the drone itself is not attacking you because it has no arms. So this thing does move really slow. Undead man walking gobblegum will help you again here if you have it, but it can be done pretty easily without the gobblegum, as we did right here. We did not use it. We did use it for the mangler step. We found that one a lot harder than this, but again, it just moves really slow. You want to move it, walk it over here to the teleporter, and you will get another cue from Sophia, and then you will be ready to move on to the next step.
Valkyrie successfully acquired. I will now begin analyzing space-time malfunction. You may take a moment to rest.
Alright, so now that you have done those first 5 challenges, you can move on to the 6th and final challenge. So this one is a little bit harder, but if you're set up, I mean, honestly, it wasn't that bad. If you set up and you have your perks, everybody has upgraded weapons, someone has a ray gun, you have monkeys, this step is not too bad. So for this final step, you have to make your way back over to the lockdown building, find this computer, and everyone has to hold the action button on this computer in the second floor of the lockdown building. This is just going to start another lockdown phase, just like before, except this time it's going to be all manglers, and they're all running at you instead of, they don't start walking, they just start off by running full speed at you. But like I said, if you have upgraded weapons and perks, I mean, this should not be an issue, really. We had a couple breaches in Windows, but wasn't too bad. These things were easy. I mean, especially with the Ray Gun Mark III, whoever has that should be dealing some damage. LMGs upgraded. I mean, not an issue. If you are able to get the Mangler helmet, and you get that by shooting, I don't know, a certain amount of Manglers with headshots, you can unlock the Mangler helmet. But I will make a different video explaining that as well. So you have to just wait for that download bar to finish and get to the end, and you will be done with the Mangler lockdown step over here. Once you do that, you just make your way back over to that computer, grab the information, and then you just take it back to Sophia, basically, and input that information into Sophia, and you will get another audio cue once that is done. Now, they did it right here. I was not able to see it because I wasn't over there, but I'll let you guys listen to it right here.
Finally. To think of 9's Fleet 5 could keep such information secret from me. It is pathetic. Really. Proceeding with Ascension Protocol.
Alright, so proceeding with Ascension Protocol.
Power cores provided. Why you would willingly perform such elaborate missions?
Alright, so now you want to make your way back over here to Dragon Command.
Beyond my understanding.
Interact with Sophia, and you will get a part out of that little compartment next to her. This is actually the power core that you need to give Nikolai. So if you look in the trailer or the little clip at the beginning of this map, Nikolai actually gets knocked into this building over here, and you can actually still see him outside of the map. He has a glowing thing on his mech unit. Well, what you want to do with that power core is just pull out your dragon, and that dragon will fly the power core over there to Nikolai, enabling him to power up his weapon system and his mech unit to actually help you defeat the boss, which is coming up next. So the dragon will go drop off the power core, and he'll just fly back to you, and you are done with that. Now you are ready to go fight the boss. And able to do this, you just want to get set up. Again, you want to have upgraded guns. You want to have all your perks. Aftertaste is not necessary, but it is helpful to be, I mean, Aftertaste enables you to go down and keep all your perks when you're revived. My main recommendation for this boss fight, if you were doing it with 4 people, I would recommend 2 people, at least 2 people, having the Shadow Claws upgraded. What these Shadow Claws will do, once you upgrade them, it enables you to fire the Shadow Claws at a person when they go down and revive them without actually physically reviving them. So it makes the revive process a ton faster, and which is super helpful in this. Another thing I would recommend is the Mangler helmet. A lot of people are using the wings because the wings guard you from the fire. But I would recommend the Mangler helmet, as you will see here in a minute. The Manglers are way more of an issue than the Dragonfire was, in my opinion. Made this a lot easier. Alright, so now that we've been through the recommendations, this is the boss fight. Once you get in here, you have to hold the red button in the middle of the map to start the boss fight. And this will spawn the dragon. Now this dragon will just spawn on different sides of the playable area right here, shooting fire down in the middle of the map, but you can escape to the corners. They are safe areas, and some of the sides are also safe areas. So a shield is helpful for walking through the fire, but you just want to shoot this dragon in the glowing areas all over his body. They will change, and each time you damage one to a certain amount, the dragon will fly away and then come back in a different location around the edges of this playable area. So, and then again, now this time, the glowing area, instead of on his stomach, it is on his throat, as you'll see here in just a second, and you just want to shoot him in the throat. The dragon was not very hard to take out. We were trying to conserve ammo as much as possible here, so we kind of just took our time, which is another thing I would recommend. Just take your time. Don't rush. Be super careful. We had 2 people on healing duties, me being one of them, providing firepower whenever needed. and 2 people just providing firepower. So I was just taking out manglers and reviving people basically, and then everybody else was providing firepower. So after that you kill the dragon, you'll get a little mini cutscene from Nikolai, and he basically turns on you after you tell him you want to kill him for Richtofen's plan, which doesn't surprise me. I'm surprised this is the first time one of the characters turned on us. So now we have to fight Nikolai in his huge mech unit. This was a lot harder than the actual dragon fight, in my opinion. But again, once you know what you're doing and you've been through this a few times, and if you're set up completely, you should be fine. I mean, this was not hard at all. Another thing I would recommend is everybody, like I said earlier, everybody should try to get aftertaste. We got lucky as hell right here, and all 4 of us were able to get aftertaste. But usually that does not happen. So as long as a couple of you have aftertaste, Phoenix Ups is really good. Nukes would be good for this. Undead Man Walking would be good for the boss fight. The Death Proof or whatever with the Death Machine Bobblegum, that would be really helpful. But again, for Nikolai, you just want to shoot the glowing areas on his mech unit. There's one on each side of his face at the beginning, and then after you destroy those, there will be one on the nose of his mech unit. And the one on the nose is really hard to see. You'll see that here in just a second. We destroyed the first 2. See right there on his nose, it's glowing. We destroyed the first 2, and we could not figure out what we were supposed to be doing because no one was able to see that. But I got really close to him right there, and I was able to spot that glowing area on his nose, and was able to see that I was getting hit markers. So we went ahead and just kept shooting him in the nose, and following suit with shooting in the glowing areas, and eventually he will go down. Another thing to note is in the middle area of this boss fight, there will be a max ammo. I think you only get 1, so use it sparingly. We used it right before we went into the Nikolai fight, I believe. Right before we killed the dragon is when we used it. So you want to try to come in here with a decent amount of ammo. You don't need too much to kill the dragon with, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. But you definitely don't want to come in here with no ammo. And don't forget to use your Dragon Strikes and your Gauntlet of Siegfried, as those are super helpful in the boss fight as well for protecting you. So that's going to be it, guys. I went ahead and cut the cutscene out just so I didn't want to spoil anybody. I like to watch them when I do it myself personally. So if you would like to see that, I will have that linked in the description as well in a different video. But that is going to be it. I really hope the video helped. I appreciate the support, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you smash that like button. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Zombies content. And I will see you guys next time. Adios.